Doc Rivers is not the problem here. The problem is the Milwaukee Bucks.
He's not part of it.
He might be. No. He's not. He's not what you think he is. Right. So
a bad coach.
Like, what do you mean by that, Joe? Like that he's not what you think.
Okay. So Doc comes in and he's now implementing his philosophy. So he's basically trying to change up everything that they're doing. Even though when Adrian Griffin was there, what they were doing, one, they had one of the weakest schedules in the league. Two, they had Giannis masking a lot of stuff that what they were doing wrong. So now Doc is coming in implementing his system. He doesn't have the personnel to do it. So Brook Lopez having to deal with Drew Holiday and not switching ones and fives. Brook Lopez having to deal with playing his man and opening up and letting Drew Holiday get through screens, knowing he's going to fight around screens, instead of having Malik Beasley, him switching on to twos because these guys won't fight over screens. These guys die on screens. These guys don't recover when they get beat. As opposed to when Grayson Allen was there, he was going to give that effort. Doc is trying to implement that kind of system, except he doesn't have the personnel to do it. So with that being said, is Doc really the problem here more than it is a personnel issue in Milwaukee? Because I'm thinking about Malik Beasley. When he was in Minnesota, what was Malik Beasley? He was a long ball shooter.
Yeah.
When he was in Los Angeles, what was he? He was a long ball shooter.
A fake shooter. Right.
Yeah. Now he comes to Milwaukee, and all of a sudden, we expect him to be a defender. No, he's never been that, and he's never going to be that. Damian Lillard, when he was in Portland, what was he? He was a bucket getter. He was a distributor. He was a late game closer. But what wasn't he ever? He was never a defender. So now we're going to put these two dudes together, and now this is a championship unit. See, the difference with Boston is when Boston replaced Robert Williams with KP, they replaced some of the defense. They didn't lose all of it. KP is still a paint presence. He will protect the rim. In addition to protecting the rim, he will rebound. And on top of that, he will give you more offense than what Robert Williams gave you. You don't lose everything. When you take Drew Holiday out of that lineup, you lose everything defensively. You take Grayson Allen out of that lineup, you lose everything on this crew defensively. This is not a Doc Rivers issue. This is a personnel issue, and Doc Rivers is trying to make this right. And because of Doc Rivers' failures in the past, it looks like Doc sucks. When in reality, it's definitely more of a Milwaukee issue than it is a Doc Rivers issue.
So this don't look like they suck. This don't look like Doc Rivers sucks. You can't have Damian Lillard and Giannis on your team and lose to these guys and expect it. That's not a coaching situation. Like they can't lose to them. You know what I'm saying? Like this reminds me of the Clippers when James Harden got there and they lost 6 games straight or whatever, and everybody was saying, "Oh, James Harden's ruining the team," even though they only beat Houston and San Antonio before that. Like this is not Doc Rivers' fault, and on top of that, it'll be okay. They'll get it together. Like you said, Chilton, he's trying to implement things that they weren't doing. It just takes some time to get it together.
Oh, here's what you guys are under the impression. You guys are under the impression that this group is going to stay together. Middleton's not going to be there. They're going to move on from Brook Lopez. They got to revamp this roster. Beasley's not going to continue to be there. They have to. Mars, you are the epitome of building around a guy's weaknesses. Yeah. And if Dame is going to be there, I think he's under contract for 3 more years. We have to build around his weaknesses. And like I just told you, this is a personnel issue. And the way that this team is currently constructed, because Dame, and let's not act like Dame is 12 a game. He's still 25-6. But what we have to do is we have to protect him more, because what we have right now does not protect him. Think about Dame as a quarterback, and he's not very mobile, and you got a terrible offensive line. And now that's getting exposed because every time you turn around, Dame getting flushed out the pocket and he getting sacked. Well, you got to get a better offensive line around him, as opposed to continuing just expect him to figure it out and illuminate his weaknesses, because that's what you're doing right now. And with the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't expect this roster to be what it is right now. No, because what it is right now, what I told you guys a month ago, the Milwaukee Bucks are fool's gold.
Team's cooked.
So if you're the Bucks, and if you could not do that trade, you wouldn't do it? Let's say you go back in time.
Well, they won the NBA championship with the roster that they had. The problem was Middleton wasn't healthy. That was it. That was the biggest problem. Middleton wasn't healthy. And I'm so not, Will, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm a big fan of in-between guys. Those are the dirty work guys. Because for every James, for every Giannis, for every Luka, you know, I believe Phil Jackson said it best. You got piano movers and you got piano players. James, Giannis, those guys are the piano players. Who are the guys carrying the couch up the stairs? Who is those guys? And when you trade Damian Lillard, and you trade Drew Holiday, that's all of your defense on the perimeter, not some of it. That's all of it. And you're not getting any of that back. I'm not sure that if I'm trading Drew Holiday and I'm trading for Damian Lillard, I got to shore up some of that defense. So would I do it? I wouldn't do it like that. No, I wouldn't.
I thought it was a good trade. I didn't think Dame was going to be this bad.
Yeah, like I agree with
Is he bad though, Mars, or is it what he's not good at? Is he bad, Mars, or what is he not good at now? Just getting illuminated because he can still play. It's obvious he can still play.
For what they needed last year's Dame on this team. So I thought that's what they was getting. One of the best pick and roll players in the NBA, someone who can shoot consistently from three, will make wide open shots who you can't help off on Giannis drives. But they don't have that. They have the most inefficient Dame we've ever seen. And yeah, he's scoring, but he's not providing the value he was meant to provide to make up for the fact that I knew the defense wasn't going to be good. My whole idea was this team can compete because with Dame and Giannis, the offense is going to be unstoppable. Now, I will say the Bucks offense has been good, but it hasn't been good enough to take over the fact that I knew their defense was going to be bad. So if Dame was playing at last year's level, I would believe in this team, but he's not. But maybe he's not playing at that level because he's being made to play defense this year, and he can't play defense and offense.
That's why
can't play defense. He just can't play defense, Mars. It's not that you can't play defense and offense. Yo, Will, you wasn't around yet, right? But as soon as this trade went down, they talked about me bad, Will. They talked about me bad. They talked about Damo bad. I'm talking about Ticket got they was calling us everything but a child of God. I'm talking about they talked about us bad, Will. Why? Because I simply stated a point. The Milwaukee Bucks traded a top 5 perimeter defender for a top 5 all-time chucker. Oh, you're a hater. You hate Giannis. You're a hater. You don't know ball. Bob, shut up. Kick Ox off the show. He's an idiot. He doesn't know ball. You just can't win like this. You can't win like this. Dame, bro. Will, did you hear? I mean, you said you worked with Bleacher Report, right?
Yeah.
Dame, or Will, I'm sorry. Were you the one who put out the clip when Dame said, what are we going to do? Let him score 50 or let me make 9 threes? That right there was all we needed to hear. Dame, you out here trying to make 9 threes? Why don't you guard somebody? Weak ass nigga. Man,
well, Mars,
crazy.
Mars, you actually brought up a point, Mars, and that's exactly where I was going with it. I have never seen, since Dame has been in the league, even as a rookie, I have never seen guys go after him like these guys go after him today. Tyrese Halliburton looks at him like he's a bucket of extra crispy. This dude can't stay in front of him. Jalen Brunson is for real looking at him like I'm better than him. I am better than him. And if we have to see these guys, no matter when we see them, I am going to outplay him. When you have guys like that, Drew Holiday already put him in prison and put a 15-year sentence on him. We already saw that. In the playoffs, we saw that. So there has to be that attitude. Now he's in the East. There has to be that attitude that generates with the rest of the guys. Once Halliburton did it, now it just filters down to everybody else. Well, if he could serve him, and I'm nice like that, I might not be nice as him, but I'm nice like that, I'll bust his ass too. And then now it just filters down to everybody. And whatever's wrong with the Milwaukee Bucks, which is their perimeter defense, it just gets highlighted. And it starts with Damian Lillard right from the beginning. I don't think, Mars, even if you got the shooter, even if you got the scorer that Damian Lillard was, I don't ever remember anybody attacking him and looking at him as inferior as they do today.